you know.
Well, that's the thing. I think the thing that I struggled with for such a long time was that, you know, I had such an intense relationship with this woman. And it was so great at the beginning. You know, she was my everything. And then sort of to be at a point where I thought, well, you know, you've gone to court to get a sheriff to serve me papers. And how's it come to this? How can someone that I was so incredibly close to for such a long time just suddenly be a different person? And at least from my perspective, you know, not have any empathy for what I was going through. And, you know, at various times I was very suicidal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and never actually had that opportunity to reconcile with her either. There wasn't even like, you know, there was no make-up sex, there was no going to a counsellor, you know, for one last ditch attempt at getting back together. She agreed to one counselling session to help me accept that it was over. That was the condition of her going to that counselling session. So it wasn't there wasn't ever an opportunity for us to get back together.
No.
And it's so final. And what was particularly hard for me was that when we separated, she said there was no one else involved. And a few weeks after the separation, I was living with my mother, and I went up to the shop that she was working in, which wasn't far away, and because I was going to Thailand for the Asian Cup, because at the time I was a football writer for SBS, and I rang her shop. I really just wanted to know where some luggage was that I could take with me to Bangkok, and no one answered the phone. So I thought, oh fuck it, I'll just walk up the road. And I walked into the shop, and this man is kissing my wife over the counter, and it was just like a knife in my heart. I've never been so bereft in my life. I was just completely broke down. I couldn't even move, and my ex had to call my father to come and get me because I just physically couldn't move. And that's all in the book. Yeah. But that's when I knew someone else was involved. And you know, it's just a terrible thing to kind of have to walk in on.